Welcome to another DBS exclusive podcast here with Julio Arroyo and Gio Jimenez. And introducing with us tonight is Edwin Rene Jimenez, who is a veteran, a man of many talents, and a knowledge he's going to share with us tonight.
Thank you for coming in today, Edwin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for the opportunity.
So get your pen and note, 'cause it's going to be a good one. Edwin, tell us your story. How did you...
I grew up in Puerto Rico. I was born in the United States, but when I was 1 year old, my parents took me to Puerto Rico. So I grew up in Puerto Rico, and I went to school in Puerto Rico. And when I was about 22, I decided to join the military. So I went to the recruiter, and I told the recruiter that I wanted to be an aircraft mechanic. And because my English wasn't that good, he says, in order for you to be an aircraft mechanic, you need to really get a good score in the ASVAB test. And I say, well, let's do something. I'll do my part, you do your part. So I went to study, because it was an English test, and I got the grades, and I went to aviation school back in 1985.
1985.
Right. So I went to aviation school, and it was rough because it's hard to compete when your language wasn't that good, But I made it. And that's basically how I did it. But I grew up in the streets of Puerto Rico, and back in the 80s, it was rough. You had to fight people in the streets, because people want to. And I learned how to fight when I was really young. And it was rough, but that's how I did. I decided to join the military, and that's how I'm here right now.
You're a man of very many talents. What's one of those talents that the military brought to you?
I went to aviation school, and when I was there, I remember one thing my father told me. He says, life is about opportunities, and you have to try to get advantage and to take opportunities and take advantage of them. So I went to aviation school, and I say, listen, they told me in the military, they pay for your school. I say, that's good. I want to go to another school. So I became a mortician. And
what's a mortician for the audience that doesn't know what a mortician is?
We actually work with dead people.
With dead people.
Our job is to make it look presentable. We sanitize them, we clean them, and we lay them in the casket. And actually, you take a lot of anatomy classes and things like that, and you study with people that are doctors, and it's really, really rewarding career.
You work with, like, before they go in the casket, do you repair them? What do you...
Actually, the health department has some laws regarding when someone dies, and so it's strict because you can get, like, if you're going to present a body, in front of people, if it's not sanitized, you can get sick, Mm-hmm. So most of them, what we do is we take the body, clean the body, sanitize the body, and then we lay them in the casket, okay, and we make them presentable. We actually replace the fluids with formaldehyde.
Oh, wow.
To make it look more presentable. And it's a good job.
You're basically a surgeon.
Not really, because at that point when you deal with somebody that's dead, it's like there's hardly any mistakes you can make, But we try to do our best in everything we do, and there's some rules that we follow that are really strict. And they have to do with sanitizing and, doing it by the book.
How long were you a mortician here?
Well, I just worked for about 3 years as a mortician because it was hard for me to be in the military and work at the same time. There's too many hours and so, but I got a good sight of my job, and I saw many things.
And then what did you do after you became a mortician? How long have you been in the military?
I spent 22 years in the military. Most of the time, I was an aircraft mechanic for a period of time, and then I decided to go to military intelligence school. So I became an interrogator in the military. So we're the people that have to get the truth quick, and that was my job, to find out the truth really quick. And there are many ways to do it. Some of which we cannot talk about.
Yeah, of
but
course. From morticianer to interrogator, how was that? How was that jump? Or was it easy for you? Was it?
Well, actually, a mortician was a work that I chose because I was afraid of dying, you know? And you have to grab the bull by the horns, you know. But military intelligence is a hard school. It's harder than aviation school because it's full of a lot of details, you know, and it's a really intense course. It was different, but at the same time, it was really rewarding, you know. I learned many good skills, you know, with that school. You learn how to read people, you know, and that's one of the best things you get out of it. Yeah.
Before we get too deep into your story, do you want to tell us more about growing up in Puerto Rico, more about your childhood?
Puerto Rico at that time in the 70s and the 80s, you know, there's the public school and there's the private school. I was in a public school, you know, and that's where you meet all kinds of people from different, you know, upbringings, and you have to defend yourself. You know, I grew up in a place where you had to learn how to fist fight, and so I learned quick, because if you didn't, then you won't survive. You know,
You will get beat
or
up.
you're getting beat up. And in Puerto Rico, there's no gangs. You basically hang out with your friends, you know, but there's nothing like gangs in here, you know.
Yeah.
But back in the day, you know, there were still drugs and things like that. They were really harmful, and there were people, you know. I got mugged many times in Puerto Rico, many times, you know. Luckily that I survived, you know. But you get mugged in Puerto Rico. That's normal, you know. In Puerto Rico, any person you talk to, they either were mugged or they know somebody that has. You know, it's common, very common.
The violence in Puerto Rico right now is, do you think has changed from back in the 80s, or do you think it's more controlled?
Well, actually, it's better and it's worse. I'm going to tell you why it's better. It's better because more people are aware of violence, okay? And since people are more aware, they're more open to talk about the people that are doing the violence. It's worse because there are many high-tech weapons in the streets of Puerto Rico that before I don't think that we had them. You know, it's normal to see a Glock shooting, you know, fully out in Puerto Rico. You know, many weapons of the ones we have, you find them there, you know, through the black market. So there's many weapons, and there's one thing. I think that people nowadays, they live on the defensively. You know, they're always like ready to start something, and they don't stop and think. You know, and a lot of people get killed in Puerto Rico every day. You know. Sometimes you look at a video of Puerto Rico and you think you're in Iraq, because you hear all these automatic weapons, you know. So it's worse in that regard. You know, there's many weapons in the streets in Puerto Rico.
You think your childhood with the whole violence, you think that had an impact on why you chose to join the military?
Well, I joined the military not to go to war. I joined the military because I wanted to be an aircraft mechanic, and the military will give you for free. You go to school for free, you know. And so my main posture on that is I went to the military to be an aircraft mechanic. So that was, to me, that was my first job. But you have to become a soldier first. That's why you go to basic training. You learn how to shoot. You learn all these techniques and things. And then after that, you go to your technical school, and you become an aircraft mechanic. And I just wanted to be an aircraft mechanic.
What was the one of your favorite airplanes?
Actually, I used to work a lot in helicopters.
Helicopters more.
And I used to work in the Chinook helicopters. The Chinook is the one that is long and has the
two.
propellers are on the top, and they're huge. You know, my job, I was a power plant mechanic, so I used to work in the turbine engines, and it was really good. I got to fly through all the Pacific. I went to Japan. I went to many places, you know, and it's cool to fix something and see it flying. It's a big accomplishment when you see it flying. You say, I fixed that, you know. So it was really good, really good.
So after aircraft, what did you decide to do?
So I spent many years as an aircraft mechanic.
Okay.
And then, so I went to many places. I went to Panama, I went to Nicaragua, I went to Guatemala, I went to Korea, I went to Japan. I went to many places. And I had the opportunity to fix aircraft that were ready to fly, you know, and without question, you cannot make a mistake.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, somebody's going to die.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I was 23 years old, I remember I showed up in Hawaii, and my platoon sergeant comes to me and says, come over here, I want to show you something. He took me to the flight line. And there were 18 helicopters there, and says, you know those helicopters? He says, you are responsible for each one of them. And I was 23 years old.
All 18.
And I remember, if I make a mistake, somebody would really die. So at 23, that was shocking to me, that you go to aviation school and they teach you how to take things apart and put them together, but you don't know the troubleshooting. Okay? So that's what happens when something fails. How are you going to fix it? That comes with experience. So I was there, no experience.
Yeah. 23.
And they say to me, you're responsible for this 18 helicopter. I was 23, man. All right?
Yeah.
So it was shocking to just realize that my job was that important, you know.
What made you not doubt yourself to not mess up on one?
Here's what happened. I needed to learn how to troubleshoot. And the problem is that a lot of people do not want to teach you. People don't go to you and say, I'm going to teach you why I'm good at this. Most people are not going to tell you, you know? But I remember I was browsing, but at that time there were no like computers. I remember the computer we had was a little film thing that you put and then you look in a screen. And I was looking through one of those, right? Yeah. And I found this subcontractors that used to work for the military. And one of the engines, I looked, it was built by Textron Lycoming, a company in New York. So I say, I'm going to write a letter to these people, you know. And I say, I need to see if they can help me out to learn how to troubleshoot, because they're the ones that created the engine. So with my little English, I went to a typewriter, you know, and I wrote this letter and I said, listen, I'm a private in the military and I work with an engine that you guys built. If you have anything that you can share with me so I can learn how to troubleshoot this, I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So back then, you know, there was no emails. So it took about 2 months.
Really?
And I get this packet in the mail, man. And it was a troubleshooting manual.
Oh.
And the thing is, nobody in the company had that.
No.
It was mine. So I took it to the barracks and I used to read. And I say, that's how this thing works. Okay? Remember something, I'm there among many other mechanics. I'm the only one that has an accent. I'm the one that people do not trust because I look Hispanic, and Hispanic supposed to be dumb people.
Yeah.
And I'm learning all these things. And suddenly I start solving problems. Okay? And when you work in aviation, you have a boss, which is the one that says what needs to be done and who's going to do it. So I started learning a lot, and I started fixing problems. And they noticed this guy is really good. So to tell you the story short, I was supposed to spend 18 months in Hawaii, and I stayed there for almost 5 years.
Really?
Because my commander says, you're too valuable, I cannot let you go. I say, I can stay, I don't have a problem. But the military says that if you're in an overseas tour, then you have to go to the mainland, to the States.
Back home.
And finally they say you have to let him go. You cannot hold him anymore. But I was a really good mechanic because of that book.
Yeah.
Nobody knew that I had it.
No one knew that.
Nobody knew. I still have it.
Really?
I still have the book. Because you have to understand something. When you are at disadvantage among many other people, you need to take the opportunity. And when you have the opportunity, you don't share it. Because nobody's going to share it with you. I share a little bit things. But I was the man. When something happened, they go like, take this guy. An aircraft is down, he knows a lot. Because of the book. Mm-hmm. And I just, sometimes they ask me a question. They say, hey, why do you think that this happened? I say, I tell you after lunch. I go to the room. Yes. Wow. And I go, this happened because of this and that. So I learned a lot about the troubleshooting.
Knowledge is power.
You were really valuable to them, huh?
I was really valuable in there, at that time.
So it was really hard for them to let you go.
Yeah.
What was one thing that you noticed that not make you doubt yourself from asking that question? What made you think, oh, I can call somebody in?
What was that?
You called the company to give you the book, right?
No, actually, I sent a letter.
A letter.
I sent a letter. Okay, and so their response was let him have
Read
this
the
book.
book.
Yeah.
So they showed that and I was, Jimenez, you got a packet. I say, wonder where it came from. So it was the book.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. So I read the whole thing. The whole thing.
How big was the book?
And it was if you look at the book, it's divided into components and subcomponents. So because aircraft are really, I mean, they're a piece of work, And there's a lot of things, mechanically and electronically that were in that manual, that if you don't have that manual, you have a problem. So the manuals that we had in the company were manuals that will teach you how to just disassemble something and put it back together, but they won't teach you this is why things go wrong, And that book just had the answers. And that's what I use.
Ask and y'all shall receive.
Is that? Yeah,
Ask
that's
and
it. That's it. So I was really worried that I was going to kill somebody, for a mistake, and I got that book back. So in reality, and I always go back to the basics. Heavenly Father knows what you need. And sometimes you don't have to ask. Sometimes you just and he knows that you're worried about it, and he says, this is the answer, man. And you take advantage of that situation and you roll with it. And that's what I did. I was probably the only mechanic that says, I need to learn this and I need to reach out to whoever can help me out. And I was lucky enough to find those little things in the computer, and I go like, this is the address of these people. They had the address in New York, and I say, I'm going to type the letter, man.
Give them the letter.
And I sent the letter, and that came about 2 months after the book. Problem solved. That's how it happened.
It's really cool. Did you ever have to go to the battlefield to fix an aircraft?
Let me tell you what happened to me in Panama. I was in Panama one time, right? And at that time, we were in these operations. There were more than 10,000 troops in there. And I was a sergeant already. I was an E5. And I remember I say, let me go to the flight line to see if I find the people that were stationed with me in Hawaii, right? And I see those two guys on top of a Black Hawk, and I'm just walking there, and I go like, hey, how you guys doing? He say, oh, this aircraft hasn't started in about 2 weeks,
Wow.
and we haven't been able to fly, you know. And I say, but what's the problem? Because the aircraft, I don't know if you've seen a Black Hawk, but it has 3 turbine engines. 2 of them are big to the size, and one of them is a small engine that has 2 starts prior of you starting the other boat, right? So if this little engine doesn't start, you're not going to start the aircraft, okay? So the problem was that aircraft, that little engine didn't want it to start.
They didn't know that.
And I go like, dude, I know what the problem is. I bet you that if I go up there with you, I teach you the problem. So I climbed in the aircraft, you know, and I go like, you see this thing here is the Starfield solenoid. I bet you that the problem is that thing is clogged. Because what happens is, if the turbine is turning, it's supposed to shoot a mist of fuel, so it combusts
Ignite.
and it starts.
Yeah.
But when it gets clogged, it just go a little string, and it won't, because it needs the mist. So if you change that part, the aircraft will start. So I left, and they noticed that I had a military intelligence patch, and they were aviation, you know.
Yeah.
So they started the aircraft, and they were looking for me through the whole camp. Imagine a camp with more than 10,000 people say, our commander wants to see you.
Really?
Oh wow.
I go like, you started the aircraft, man. You're the one that solved the problem, and he needs to see you. Okay, we'll go there. So I went there, and they were from the California National Guard, these guys. And I showed up, and he says, hey, sir, this is the guy, you know. He said, hey, come over here. He said, hey, I really appreciate what you did, you know. You get us, you got the aircraft to start and this and that. How come you're in the aviation? You're in the MI. What's wrong with you? I said, yeah, I changed my job, you know, and he offered me a job in California, man. He says, do you want to come and fix aircraft? I say, no, I'm all right in Utah, you know. I'm in the military intelligence. I got, at that time, this is about 1996, somewhere there, you
Oh
know.
wow. Still in the
And
90s.
so, in the 90s. So he says, hey, man, anything you guys can help us, you know, we're going to reach out to you. I'm going to be here for 2 more weeks. So I'm in my unit here, you know, one day, and they come in the front, you know, front center, Edwin Jimenez, and say, the California National Guard is giving me an Army Commendation Medal. What did you do? Because I never told anyone the story. So I fixed an aircraft for them in Panama, you know, while we were there. You gotta shoot me, you know. I said, yeah. And so they give me one of the medals they give you know. So I was really, really good. I was really good mechanic.
You still have that medal?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah?
I do. I have an I Love Me wall downstairs. I'd probably show it to you. didn't I? I have all my medals there.
That's pretty
Some
cool.
of them.
Explain to them what your wall's about.
My wall is when you accomplish something,
Yeah.
you need to let people know. You know, in a good way, not to be like, oh,
Not bragging.
Yeah.
but you. So what I did with my certificates, I put them in this wall, and I call it I Love Me wall. You know, and I have all them. So some of the medals I'll show it to you later.
That's very neat. I like it.
We all need an I Love Me wall.
Yeah, that's
We all
right.
need one.
That's
We all
right.
need it.
Get your trophies and everything. How many more medals did you collect throughout
I have many. If you look at a uniform, you see all these little color things in here. Those actually are medals, but most of the time you don't wear the whole medal. You just wear the ribbon.
Oh, the ribbon.
The ribbon. So
okay.
you have the medal, but the ribbon, the ribbon is the one you wear, because if not, it would be like. And some people do, but I didn't used to do that. So I have many medals. Yeah.
What's another medal that you earned in your field?
I have the Meritorious Service Medal.
Material, sir. What's that?
And it's actually a medal that you get when you pass the 20-year mark and you've been deployed, and you have been to war and things like that.
So you
I had
service
the
how
Saudi
many?
Arabia medal too,
Saudi Arabia.
from the first back in 1991 is the first deployment, and we actually went to Saudi Arabia, and so the government of Saudi Arabia gave us that medal. So I have it downstairs.
Oh wow.
Too. It's golden in the center of the.
It's really neat.
So yeah, I got many.
Many medals.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite? You would say out of
Well, actually, probably the one I just talked to you
the
about.
Black Hawk?
Because those are some medals are automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Some medals you have to earn them, and some people never do.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, some people there's some medals that people never, and some other medals you have to earn.
Is there medals in the military that they tell you can earn, or do you just earn them?
Well,
while doing stuff?
actually, most of the time, some of them are automatic.
Okay.
Like a good conduct medal. If you don't get in trouble every 3 years, you get one, and it's a ribbon. But there's some medals that you just earn, and some of them, most of the time, you earn them after you die. Okay,
What?
because
A lot of guys.
it's like for example there's some medals that most of the time they're awarded after you die.
The sacrifice.
It's because
It's unfortunate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and so that's very significant because that's one medal that I say I deserved it. I gave it my best, and I became a really good mechanic, and through the years, when I got that medal, I go like, I did earn this thing,
Yeah.
and so you appreciate it more,
All your hard work.
Yeah.
Shows.
Yeah.
From outside your military life, how's that become? Because I know a lot of people when they come back, they're not the same. What was different from you?
I
You,
tell
you
you
look
what,
young. You're
the-
60 years old. You look
see,
young.
See the thing is this. This is what happened to me. I remember one night my ex-wife. She in the morning, we woke up in the morning and says, "Do you remember what you did last night?" I say, "No." I said, "I was scared, man." I said, "Why?" I said, "You started screaming in the middle of the night, shooting at somebody, some imaginary thing, And I say, "What did you do?" I say, "I ran to the bathroom because I was scared, But then you turn around and you went to sleep. Do you remember?" I say, "No, I don't." "You need to go get some help, man, because it's scary." I say, "Well, how can I get some help if I cannot remember what happened? You need to come with me." So we went to the VA hospital, and she told the story, and she said, "Well, you have PTSD, man, and we don't know how to treat this thing because it's new." So they give me these pills, and you take these pills, and I go like, "Whoa, dude, you're not you. You know that you're not you because people talk to you and you like you're in slow motion, right?"
Yeah.
And I go like, "I don't like this because you know who you are,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a very dynamic person. I ride motorcycles, and I'm upbeat all the time, and suddenly I'm feeling like in slow motion, and I go like, I don't like this thing." And I take the pills and I go to my doctor and I say, "Listen, I went to VA and they gave me these pills for PTSD. What do you think?" So I gave it. Say, "Don't take this thing. They give this to schizophrenic people.
What?
So in order for you to get off from this pill, it's going to take you years, if you do."
Oh,
And I
what?
say, so I took the pills and I went back to VA and I gave it to him. I say, "Listen, I'm not going to take that.
What?
So I'd rather deal with this thing on my own. Hope I don't kill somebody."
Yeah.
But I dealt with it on my own,
Mm-hmm.
And I go like, You know, it was that bad.
Yeah.
But you know, it's getting better. I'm at a point where it hardly happens anymore.
Really good.
And when you come back, you feel you don't want to be where there's a lot of people, crowded places. You don't want to be there.
Yeah.
And but it's better now.
You
It's
like
better.
your personal space, your
I like I tell you what, I've always been a people's person. I like to share. I like to be around people. Some people are outcast people. You know, they just I'm cool with people. You know, I have no problem. But when I came back, it was a little bit hard. You know.
people living a life, going outside. There's a different life.
No. It's like being in a place where like I play piano, right? And I play with bands in Salt Lake. So I came back. There was a club called Elevate back then, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I was gonna play there, and I remember going there, and I go like, "There's a lot of people here." I started freaking out, so I had to go outside to calm down, you know,
Yeah.
before I could play. So that used to happen to me, but not anymore. It's better now.
You said you play piano. How long you been playing piano?
I've been playing piano since I was about 24.
24.
One day I decided to learn how to play the piano.
Was it in the military?
And I was in the military. I was actually in the military.
Yeah.
And I was walking and I saw this pawn shop and they had this piano and I go like, I always wanted to learn how to play the piano, you know? And I went inside and I go like, hey, how much you want for that piano? So they sold it to me really cheap and I bought it.
Was it this one?
No, it was actually a keyboard. It was
No.
actually a keyboard.
A keyboard?
And I said, I'm going to learn how to play this thing, you know? But it's not easy, you know. You have no teacher, you know.
How many
Yeah.
keys? 64?
Well, actually, this is all 73, I
73.
think.
You mentioned you played for a band in Salt Lake City. Like, what kind of genre? You want to mention the name of the band?
I play salsa, merengue. I play all Hispanic music. I play jazz.
Nice.
I play mostly everything that I can hear now. I can play. I can play anything. And I'm gonna tell you how I did it, man. This is a story. Check this out.
Write it down. Write it down.
Check this
Take
out.
notes.
Take notes.
I knelt down and I pray, and I say, I need your help. I need to learn how to play this instrument. And what I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna put all my effort into learning how to play this thing. So I used to take the piano every day. Ting, ting, the two fingers like this. Two fingers. And I came to a point where I knew a lot about chords and about rhythms, about things like that. But there's something missing. And so you know I have motorcycles, right?
Yeah.
Well, I used to wheelie my bikes a lot. I would take it. I used to live in Saratoga Springs, and there was a road like this, and I would get up, and I would run the whole street in one wheel in that bike. So I flipped the bike up,
No, you got into an
Had an
accident.
accident.
and this thumb, when I lay the bike down, and I brake the bike because it was in a new neighborhood. I just bought a house, and the bike started spinning, and so I put the brake, and this thumb got caught up in the handlebar, and it went.
Oh, way.
Your thumb was hanging?
Hanging there.
Dude. Dude. And there's a second where you don't feel anything.
No.
It's like everything is numbed. But then after that,
You realize what happened.
you start crying. This is the worst pain. A hand injury is the worst. So I say, I don't think that I'm going to be playing the piano any longer.
Really?
So, and this was the break. I'm going to tell you what the break was.
And how old were you
I was about,
when that happened?
that was in 2003. That was 22 years ago.
Wow.
So I was 40, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
40 years old.
Wheelies?
Doing
What
wheelies.
the
I,
heck?
I was,
40 years old
and see you have to remember, I have a son. I have a son.
Oh,
And my son, I bought him a dirt bike. And so my son's friends, your dad is cool, man. He's bad. You know.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Because I could wheelie that bike really well, man.
Dude.
And I was really, I would go up the hill. There was a hill right in front, one wheel, man.
God.
All the time.
What
until
bike?
that day.
Dirt bike?
Dirt bikes.
Oh, okay.
So I love two-strokes dirt bikes. I think they're the best. Hands down. I love them.
Dirt bike? You know which one to cop next?
So anyway, so I'm gonna tell you why was that significant. It's because I went to the emergency room, and they put this thing in and say you need to go and see a doctor because you have a big problem. And this thing was like huge.
Wow.
So they took me to this orthopedist. He says, I need to reconstruct your thumb.
It was that bad?
It was all messed up. All is this in here.
You weren't wearing no gloves, it's just your hand.
Even with gloves, that thing got stuck in the handlebar. The handlebar is like this, right? And it has like a little, so it got caught in there. And when the bike fell and I fell, it just yanked it back. Okay,
Sounds good.
so I go to the orthopedist and say I have to reconstruct your thumb, And so they operated. I went to surgery. And after that, it's the worst. You have to go to physical therapy. But what happened is that day that I went to that doctor, I knew that I was gonna be in my house like this for months. Your hands straight because you're gonna solve them. So I told my wife, take me to the bookstore, because I need to read something. I'm gonna be down for a while. So something says to me, go to the music book. And that was a theory book that I needed to read. And that's what opened my eyes in music. That's how I learned. Because other than that, I was like,
Yeah.
but I learned how to write music, how to compose music, how to read music with that book. I still got it too.
Really?
Did you ever doubt you would ever come back to playing piano after your injury?
I was doubted, but when I went to when they took me to the physical therapy, I met this guy. He was a hand specialist. He tells me, I said, listen, he says, you will play the piano again. You'll be able to use that thumb 100%,
Yeah.
but you're going to go through a lot of pain. And you're going to hate me now. But in the future, you're going to love me. And that's exactly what happened.
It looks really good.
I can use the thumb 100%. Never wheel a bike again. Never.
Learn your lesson
And I have
for
many
sure.
bikes. I have
Yeah.
many bikes.
Yeah.
So that's my story of that. But thanks to that book, many other things in music opened, and I was able to learn many other things. That is what I have played music with professionals, and I never had a teacher.
Self-taught.
That's right.
You've been
Re-
self-taught
reading
all
is
your
key.
life.
Reading
You
is
taught
key.
yourself how to
Yeah.
fix a aircraft, play the piano.
No, see the aircraft thing. I went to school, but piano,
Manual.
the one upstairs, man. Because I tell you what, if I wouldn't have fall off that bike, I probably would never found the book. Because when you are 100% well, you're not gonna read. Who's gonna read? A lot of people won't read.
A lot of people won't.
But I was gonna be down and I say, take me to the bookstore. Boom, that's the book you need. That
What-
changed everything.
What was the music theory book?
It talks about everything that has to do with reading, writing, composing, learning about harmonies and voicings, all that. I knew anything. But with that, I took off. Put it this way. My ex-wife, when I married her, I was playing with two fingers like this. And when I divorced her, I played with Oscar de Leon one time
Really?
here in Salt Lake.
What?
So she can tell you, this man, while he was married to me, didn't know nothing about piano, and when we got divorced, he was a pianist.
Sounds really good.
But
Thanks to the man upstairs.
That's right.
Any more?
So that's the story about that.
Any questions, you guys?
Dealing with that, what was your like headspace in when you had that thumb injury, like doubting you not playing the piano again?
It was really bad. It was really bad because I really wanted to play the piano. Music is something I could have been born with no eyes, but with no ears, I don't think that I. So I say, I have a problem. You need 5 fingers to play, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to move my thumb anymore, and that's a very important finger, and so I went to this place. I think the military paid probably over $500,000 for this, because they the one that pay. See, when you're in the military, they pay everything,
Right.
So they send you to this specialized doctor to fix your hand, okay? So it's more than $500,000 that they spend on this thing. So I say, I'm not gonna wheel a bike again.
It's cyborg too?
Never-
What's that?
Is it cyborg too? Is it?
I tell you what, it works really well, man.
Why did you choose piano out of any other instrument?
You know why? Because I think it's one of the hardest instruments to play.
Mhm.
Sometimes you're playing something in this hand and something totally different in this one,
That is.
and it's like your brain has to divide itself, And so, to me, it was a challenge. I always like music, and I say, I need to learn how to play this thing, and that's how I did it.
So besides the instruments, you also spoke more about your bikes. Tell us more about your biking stories.
My
biking
motorcycles?
likes, It's motorcycles.
Keeps you young.
See, you have to understand one thing. When I was in Puerto Rico, the only thing you could do is dream. You have no money. Your parents don't have no money. I wasn't rich. I'm not richer now. I wasn't rich. But all you can do is dream. And I used to dream a lot. And I remember the first time that I saw a Triumph motorcycle, man. I say, one day I'm going to have one just like that. I got it right there. Okay?
Yeah,
So-
manifested.
So I always like motorcycles, and thank God that I was put in a position where I can buy the things that I wanted to buy, and that's how it came about. I just love riding. Riding is the best. You gotta be careful. I had a couple of bikes that I'm kind of already losing the reflex in order to ride them because they're fast, But I still got them. They're neat to have.
Yeah,
I just started 3 of them last night.
Oh, you started 3 of them?
really. That's cool.
He has a whole collection. We'll see at the end.
But I love motorcycles. You gotta be careful, but I do love them. It's the best.
Which one's your favorite motorcycle?
That Triumph.
The Triumph? How come?
Because it's my first dream, man.
Your first dream in Puerto Rico?
That's right.
That's the bike you saw in Puerto
That's
Rico?
the bike. And if you really look at it, Triumph motorcycles, even though you can buy a new one, it still look old, vintage.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
So my bike, a lot of people when I ride it, they say, "Hey, what year is it?" It's a 2008. Really? Because it looks vintage,
Oh, yeah.
So it looks close to the one I saw when I was about 8 years old.
Really? That's good.
It hasn't changed a lot.
Have you been back to Puerto Rico?
Yes, I was there in March.
March?
March. Yeah,
You love it? Or
it's the best. Problem is if you go right now, it's really really hot.
right now, is this your guys' summer?
Yeah, it's summer
Summer.
there. It's summer there, but it's really hot and humid there.
Humid.
Yeah, but the lifestyle in Puerto Rico is really good.
What's a food you recommend?
What's that?
A food you would recommend from out there?
Food, there's so many things. But in Puerto Rico, you go to lechoneras. They call it lechoneras.
Lechoneras.
And they sell lechones. They have it right in the stick, and they cut it right there for you.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
You guys have to try it. If you haven't been there, you have to go.
I'm planning
Yeah,
a trip to Puerto Rico.
It's really good. It's different. Yeah.
So growing up in Puerto Rico and then you coming to Salt Lake, how was that? Like,
It was a shock to me.
yeah.
It was a big shock. First of all, I got here, and it was about June of '85,
Wow.
and it was a cultural shock for me.
Yeah, I bet it was.
After 10 o'clock, there's nothing here, man.
Nothing.
And I was like, I can't believe these people are sleeping. People sleeping at this time on a Friday. Couldn't believe it. The first time I tried a pizza here, I was like, I'm not going to be able to cope with this thing, man. But you have to change some things to obtain other things. One thing that I found here really good is that you can wear your gold chain and nobody will mess with you.
Exactly.
In Puerto Rico, you can't do that, man.
Can't do that.
So I was like, well, I guess I had to change some things in order to get other things. And as you grow older, you learn how to appreciate those things more, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
You told us that you're a motivational speaker that you did at a prison.
I went to the jail.
To the jail?
I went to the jail, man. And I never been inside a jail before.
Wow.
And it was really rewarding experience for me. Well, first of all, I never been into a jail, and then I was going to talk to a lot of kids because I went to the juvenile detention center, and there are kids in there that have killed people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go to the jail, you know, they frisk you, and when the first door opens and closes, and you hear this gigantic metal iron work, and then you go to the second and the third and the fourth, you realize I cannot get out of here if these people don't want me to get out of here. There's no way.
Wow.
And you are inside of this building, you know, and I'm of course a person invited me to talk to these people, and I'm walking with him through the halls, you know, of the prison, and it just gives you this feeling is that you just don't want to be there. But then we walk and we go to there's a chapel, and you know, in the jail. Just like it's not a big chapel, but it's a chapel. You know, there's a piano and and actually, my talk was to talk about how Jesus Christ have been part of my life. And one of the stories that I talked was about the piano, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there were about 60 inmates. And they divided the room. The prisoners were in this side, and the cadre and some other. There were about 3 cups for all those. And there were some people that work because they work for the church, but actually they go to the church, to the jail. So they were sitting on this side. And so I told them about life, about the fact that most of them were getting out soon. And I told them that when you get out, life is going to be harder than when you went in, because now nobody trusts you. Nobody wants to give you a job. But you need to kneel down, and you need to pray. And if you do, you know, you'll get an answer. And I gave him the example of the music, of the things, many things that I done that I pray, you know. And I'm at a point in my life where you can't deny that. You can't deny it. When I was younger, I probably looked for excuses to deny it. But you get to a point in life where you say, I can't deny that. He's real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really rewarding, man. I mean, I told many things. I spoke about an hour and a half, something like that. And it was really good, really good. I think, you know, I opened it for questions, and it was really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Impacted a lot of lives.
Yeah, I
For
hope.
sure. Hope so.
With one, I told him, I say, if you want me to come anytime, I'll be here. It was really good.
That's cool.
And after that, did he ever return back?
That happened about probably about a month and no, about 2 months ago.
Oh, okay, recently.
So not yet, but they
Yeah.
told me, listen, next time it's gonna be a different group because
Yeah.
some people are getting out different.
How did they get a hold of you, like, to ask you?
Actually, I have a friend that has a calling,
Okay.
a church calling, and they actually go to the jail.
Yeah.
And he approached me. He says, listen, I've heard many of your things because people talk about you.
Yeah.
Why don't you come to the jail and talk? I say, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
I told you, remember?
Yeah, for sure.
See, I met him when recently they came and asked me to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A message to the young audience that watches, that faces so many obstacles coming up,
Nice.
like you with your injury. What would be a message to them?
Life is about opportunities. The person that has the more choices in life is the guy that wins. So learn as much as you can. Learning is the best. Anything. If you have 5 titles, you're an electrician, you're a whatever. The more things you know, the more skills you have, the more chances you have to succeed in life. So study hard, man. It's worth it. It is totally worth it. And you don't have to be a doctor. You keep it simple. There are a lot of people here, 6 figures, with 2 years of school, 2 years of college. Okay? So to be successful, you just have to learn something and share something that people need. And you'll be all right. Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
That would be one thing. And another thing is, when you fail. Don't get stuck in the excuse of why you fail. Just forget about it and keep going on and do for the next project. A lot of people will try to hold you back with their comments. Oh, he won't be able to do that. Prove them wrong.
Exactly.
I remember when I was an insecure kid, I was scared to talk about things because you feel that you're not part of a group. Forget the group, man. Do your own group. That's what I tell people.
Don't follow lead.
Don't follow lead.
When we talk about weapons and things like that, be responsible, man. I show you that I have some, right?
Yeah.
But I show you that they were locked.
Yeah.
The only gun that I don't have locked is the one that I have on me.
You're the lock.
The rest are locked because mistakes happen, man. Be responsible. That's what I say. Those games that they're playing nowadays, I'm badass. It's not true. When you go to war, I tell you what, if you've been to war, you don't want war. You don't.
How come?
It's because it's not just to lose your life. That's probably the best thing that could happen to you. Just lose your life, no problem. You go to a better place. But you lose your mind, you lose an arm, you lose a leg,
You come back different.
and there's some things that they'll never come back. When you come back, you're a different person, plain and simple. And sometimes people cannot handle it and they shoot themselves or shoot someone. So war is not good. Tell you the truth. Sometimes it's necessary, but it's not good. You're always gonna lose. True.
You did a lot of years of service. Did you get to witness people committing suicide, just due to losing their mind or just,
I have met many people that had take the wrong decisions. Some of them, they can justify it by saying, well, I was deployed. Some things I say, well, that's borderline, but each one of us is a different world. And I go by one thing. Problems, situations are temporary. Taking your life is permanent. So don't take a permanent solution for a temporary problem.
Right.
You're going to lose.
Right.
and the people around you are gonna lose. So I met some people that have gone crazy for real. You know, that you talk to them and their mind is not there anymore, and you notice that because you know them from before. You know,
They're your friend.
and it's bad. Some of them they recognize. Listen, I changed a lot, but I don't know how to be back to the person I was. It's because they can't.
That's strange.
Their reality
Yeah.
is different now, and that's all they know. You know. So it's really bad to know someone and then turn around and he's not the same person anymore. It's really bad.
When you see people like that, do you want to give them a hand? Do you want to give them the path, or do you feel like the people who want to be helped will find the help?
I tell you one thing. Most of the people at that stage, they just need somebody to listen, not to tell them what to do. Because most of the times, you can't relate to that. You just can't say, well, I would do this. I would do this. In serious. You've never been there. But listen to them, be a support to them, and try to make their life easier in a way. You know, be a friend, man. You know, if you're a friend before, you have to be a friend after. And people make mistakes, you know. But it's hard to reach out when you cannot relate, you know. It's really hard.
Thank you out to all the veterans who have served and have passed. You guys mean a lot.
Really
Yeah.
appreciate-
What are some, from all the knowledge you've gained in military, being a pianist, being a man of varied talents, and doing wheelies, owning guns, what would be something you would give out to these young kids who are growing up, seeing guns nowadays, seeing motorcycles and acting crazy and not knowing where they're going next?
I tell you one thing, man. Each one of us have a talent. All of you, everyone has a talent. But many don't know what the talent is because they don't try things. I remember one time a friend of mine came back from Jerusalem and he brought this painting. It was an Egyptian painting. And I fell in love with that painting and I told the guy, sell it to me. I pay you twice, 3 times. He says, no, I'm not going to sell it. But I have something for you. So he gave me this bookmark with the painting.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was looking at the painting. I go, I'm gonna paint this thing in my wall. I'm gonna paint it.
Really.
Dude, I took that thing. It was 10 inches by 3 inches, but this big. I made it in my wall, 10 feet by 3 feet.
No.
I'm gonna show it to you today.
Painted it yourself.
So I went ahead and started preparing the wall, you know. I could draw, but I didn't know I could do something like that. So I started doing it, you know. And when I finished, the guy appears to my house. The friend.
Oh, your friend, yeah.
I go, I'm gonna take him to the room. Because the only mistake is I painted in the freaking wall, man. And I got divorced after that, so I lost it.
Oh, no.
But I have a video of it.
You lost-
So I painted the thing, right? And he walks in the room and he goes like, who did that? I say, I painted it. No way, man. I say, yeah. I say, with the strip you gave me? I put it there and it was 10 by 3. I did 10 feet by 3. It was bigger than this wall. It was huge.
Holy-
And so I painted it. And I didn't know I could paint something like that.
I know you could paint.
Well, the thing is this, I didn't either. But if you don't try, you don't find your talent. So each one of us, I suggest you one thing.
That's the thing.
Try everything in life, and one of the things you're gonna say, I didn't know I could do this. And some people cannot. That's a talent.
You don't succeed if you don't fail, right?
That's right. So try as much as you go and try anything. And one of those, you're gonna go like, I can do this thing really quick. really nice, and some people can't. That's a talent to me.
That is a talent.
I remember my mom showed up to the house. I was drawing the thing, because you draw it before you paint it, right? And she stood in front of it. She said, who is doing that? I said, I am. And she didn't believe me. And I go, ask my daughter. My daughter's not going to lie to you. My daughter was about 10 or 9. Say, ask her, who's doing that? My dad. So I was really, drawing the whole thing.
Did she help you?
No. That was my.
That was you.
You have to have a project in life. Everyone has to. You need a project, something that you do that helps you to cope with life. For example, for my PTSD, motorcycles and music is the best thing. Problem is, most of the time here you cannot ride a bike, so I play a piano in the winter time. Then in the summertime I go outside and I play art. Still, okay. So all of us, even when you're married, you need to have a project that is your own thing. It could be you like to go to the gym, you like to draw, you like to whatever, but you need to have that because that's what keeps you alive, man. It's the reality of things.
You working towards something is what keeps
you are doing something that you say, this is for me. Everyone needs to find that. You need to find that.
What is your new project that you have going on right now?
Well, I tell you what, music is always going to be my project. I love my motorcycles, but I know I'm getting old already. To handle, I have a CBR 1000, that thing is fast.
Wow.
Man, and I started, because I haven't started in a while. And I revved a couple of times and I go like, this is getting to be a little bit bigger than before. You had the reflexes before, but you're going to lose that.
Yeah.
So I didn't even took it for a ride. I just started and I parked it. So it's there.
A whole beast.
It's a beast. I done 100 miles an hour in first gear in the bike.
On first gear, 100.
I'm serious, man. That thing is fast. Yeah,
You're flying.
it's really fast.
That's a bullet.
It's really fast. Yeah.
Any questions you guys have? Our audience that's live and on watching, we have 5,000 people watching. Any questions that they want to ask?
I have a question.
Let's go.
You learned quite a bit of new things all on your own. Did you learn English on your own?
Yeah, took me about 2 years and a half.
So
Yeah.
and that you learn new things like
The problem with that, I'm going to tell you what the problem was. I passed the test to go to aviation school, right? I passed the test. That doesn't mean I speak English. That knows the test, the Army test has mathematics. It's got a lot of things. So I took and I practiced with the book for the and I got a good score. When I went to the school, actually, I couldn't understand the instructor, I go, how am I going to survive in this thing, And the first test I took, I got a 70%, which is barely passing, And I went and I told the sergeant, listen, you need to let me borrow those books to take him to the barracks to study. Because it takes me a little while in my English, But I did that and I had no problems. So I was forced to learn English because I was in a school where I was required to do it and I couldn't.
Yeah.
But it worked out, And most of the time it's the man upstairs,
And that's also was my follow-up question. What was your favorite thing that you learned throughout each trial and tribulation?
Favorite? I tell you what.
Knowing that you could do it?
Do you know that sometimes you say, I'm going to do this, and you don't know how you're going to do it? Okay? Let me tell you what happened to me one time, man. I bought a Toyota Supra.
Nah, you had a Supra?
No way.
Check this out. And at that time, having a Toyota Supra,
What year?
it was an 82. But at that time, that car was ahead of its time. Tell you what, I'll show you a picture later on. It was beautiful.
What color?
It was blue.
A blue.
It was a 6-cylinder, 5-speed. I was like,
Beautiful,
yeah.
man.
So one day I'm driving my car, and the car starts like, I go like, what's wrong with this thing, you know? And I bought the book for the car. And I start reading, and it says, listen, this is the problem. It could be this and that. The life, I learned one thing, that the life of an engine, you can see it in a spark plug.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you put a spark plug, it tells you a lot of what's going on in the engine. By the color, by if it has oil, if it's whatever. You can tell by a spark plug how your engine is doing. So I put the spark plugs, because that's the first thing the book says.
Yeah.
And in number 3 spark plug, I found corrosion. So when there's corrosion, there's water. This car is leaking water on number 3 spark plug. In the car, I was just paying the car. I say, I had no money to take this thing to the Toyota. I disassembled the freaking engine, man.
No
You
way.
just.
And I disassembled the engine. Check this out. I disassembled the whole top of the engine, and I put it in my kitchen, the little parts. I cannot tell you how many times I woke up at night not knowing if I was going to be able to put it back together. I was scared. It's a Toyota engine. It's a big engine, man. It's Japanese.
Did you get the manual in Japanese or
So
did you?
no. The manual was an English manual, and it taught you how to take it apart.
Oh what?
But the problem is, there's other considerations that you have to take. You know, when you do something like that, is you need to time the engine back
Okay.
and put it back together. So my neighbor comes out of his house, and he starts laughing. He used to chew.
With the
He used to chew.
He won't be able to put that together. You know, that's a Japanese engine, and I look at him like, well, I have a problem, because there's no way that I can take this car to the Toyota dealer to get fixed. So I remember that it says pull the head off. So I pulled the head with all the valves and everything, and I say take it to a machine shop. El libro decía, the book says, you know, take it to a machine shop. So I took it to a machine shop. The guy says, listen, you got a problem. The problem is that the head has a little crack in the thread of the spark plug, and that's where water is coming through. So you basically need to get the hook. So I was lucky enough that I went to a junkyard, man, and I told the guy, I said, listen, I need to find a head for a Toyota Supra. And he says, you are in luck. I have one in here that I replaced the valves and the seals and everything. Give me $375 for it, and it's yours. So I gave him the money and I took it. I went and bought the timing belt and all that, and I put the car together, bro.
no way.
And when the car started, the neighbor comes out of his house. Damn, man. I'll be damn. You put it back to yeah, and it runs really good. Never gave me problems anymore. It's a nice car, man.
What?
I wish I had this car. You know why I sold it, right? I sold it because I brought it here from. I was stationed in Texas after I came here, and it was a rear-wheel drive, and I
Yeah.
almost flipped that car one time. I was because the snow, and the
Yeah.
car it has a rear-wheel drive and it has no weight.
No wait. Yep.
So I almost and I sold it because I was scared.
Yeah, Utah, no good.
That's what happened with my Mustang. I cannot drive it in winter time. So that's why I have the other one. The
Oh.
Honda.
No.
What's one of the requirements for you getting to the military for the athletic?
What are the requirements? That you have actually athletes in the military are chosen among the people that are already in. The only job in the military that you probably have to try out is for if you want to play in the army band, because most of these guys have experience before. Let's say that you play the flute, okay, or the trombone or whatever. You go to an audition, and they put a chart, and you have to be able to read music and play music. So, so most of the people that play in the band, they're chosen like that. But for example, like people, SF people, Special Forces, Delta Force, all those high elite people, you don't go through there out of the street. You are picked among the best in the military. The Special Forces, the Rangers, all those kind of people, special ops, are picked. They say, I want this guy. And at that time, you're probably an E5 already. You're probably a sergeant before you go to that. Because those schools are life and death school, but for real. For real.
Wow.
You know, it's serious. And so most of the Delta Force people, which people don't talk about, you know why nobody knows about Delta Force? They talk about the SEALs. The SEALs go and write a book. SEAL. You never hear Delta Force. That's the most elite
Oh, really?
in the whole military. And they belong to the Army.
To the army.
Okay?
Delta
It's
Force.
called Delta Force. You never hear about it, right?
Nope.
You never hear anything that they do or they write.
Mm-hmm.
They never talk about what they do. And they're bad to the bone.
What's their? Do they have an emblem? Do they have a
Nothing.
nothing?
In fact, these people are gonna grow beards, and you won't see them anywhere. It's really cool.
Delta Force.
Yeah?
You knew
Delta
men,
Force.
You knew men in the Delta Force.
What's that?
Did you know men in the
Never.
Delta Force?
Never. You don't know them.
Really?
In fact, I went to their compound in North Carolina, in Fort Bragg. They have their compound. And even you're a soldier, you are stationed in Fort Bragg, you cannot get close to their compound.
Really?
Oh wow.
They have the baddest Humvees, the best equipment they have.
Yeah.
Delta Force. Check it out.
Yeah.
Delta Force next vacation spot.
If you get to know one, I want to meet him too. Bring him to me, and I want to meet him. They're bad.
Hey, it's really
You think they would disclose their information or no?
Never. They probably can tell you about the things in school, but they're not gonna talk about things. No, they're really reserved. You never see anything about Delta Force. I never see anything about Delta Force.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
Have you noticed the requirements to get into the army now? Like, I heard you guys do like 50 push-ups to get in the testing.
I tell you what, when I went to the military, I could hardly run, but I started running here. The good thing is that I started running here, which the altitude helps you a lot.
Yeah, it does.
See, I went to basic training in New Jersey, which is sea level, and each lap in the track is 1 mile.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if you ever, because pacing yourself for beating the clock in a run has to do a lot with what distance you run. Like I could pace myself in a 400-meter track, but when I went there, each lap was a mile, man. It was a huge track. But even if you don't know, if you cannot run, believe me, by the time you finish basic training, you will run. You will run.
How much do you have to run for you to pass basic training?
You had to do at that time, you had to do 2 miles in less than 17 minutes or something.
17 minutes.
Like that.
To our athletes watching, 2 minutes.
No,
But
that's
2
back
miles.
then.
Now?
Now the PT test is harder.
Oh, it's harder
It's
now.
harder because before there were 3 events. This is the 2 mile run, the push-ups, and the sit-ups. Now they have 5 events.
Oh, it's 5 events.
Sorry, but do not get discouraged, because if you have a good physique and you'll make it. You'll make it. It's more of a mental thing than anything else.
You conquer yourself and you conquer everything else.
That's right. And remember, see, I'm not a tall guy. I had to compete with people that were like athletic and things like that, and most of them were the ones that quit first. They have a harder time doing push-ups because their arms are longer, man.
Mm-hmm.
So some of them struggle really bad, and so I did all right.
Any more questions?
We have 10 minutes.
10 minutes. You guys have any more?
With you being in the military, in the U.S. Air Force, like
No, I was in the army.
in the army, excuse me.
Mechanic
Like,
work.
being a mechanic, like you seeing all the other guys, how was that to you? Like, what was like? Did you feel any like discouragement, like not being out in the battlefield, or like, or did you feel like the most important guy even more?
See, this is one thing that a lot of people do not realize. Everybody in the military has a job, and each job is as important as the next job.
Correct.
You have people in the infantry, you have people in the kitchen, you have people that are aviation mechanics, you have people that are do x-rays. There's all kinds of jobs in the military. And what a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of people look at the military for what they see in movies, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
Once I was an aircraft mechanic, my job was to work in aircraft. Okay? So I'll go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I get off at 4. After that is my time. I could do whatever I want. So I went to school. That's what I told you, that I went to school. You know? And you choose what you want to do, you know? So you basically can go to a recruiter and say, listen, I want to be blank. And he's going to tell you, listen, if you pass the test and you pass that part, you can do it. But a lot of people don't know that they have that choice. I told my recruiter in Puerto Rico, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you how it is. I don't know English, but I want to be an aircraft mechanic. And if you don't put me as an aircraft mechanic, I'm not going in the military, plain and simple. And what he told me was, in order for you to do that, you need to get a good score in that test. I said, okay, I'm going to do my part. But when I do mine, you do yours. And I went and did that thing. And out of all the students that took that test, I was number 1. When that guy came to my house and said, listen, I don't know how you did it, but you got the highest score. I said, are we going to aircraft school? He said, yeah. So that's how I got it. If you don't get a good score in that test, you're going to the kitchen, bro. And you're not gonna like to be in the kitchen because you're gonna get up at 3 o'clock in the morning because people have to be chow in the chow hall at 6, and you're gonna go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. You're gonna have a really bad job.
Ooh,
So I say I'd rather be an aircraft mechanic, and that's what I did.
yeah.
Be sure what you ask for, because you'll get what you ask
So
for.
to answer that question, all the jobs are important. It doesn't matter if you are the guy that does the laundry. It serves the mission. The mission is the whole thing.
Yeah.
You have a mission. Everyone is important to that mission. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
Everyone plays a role in.
Yes,
Yeah.
a big role. Yeah.
Do you think the movies of the military movies now depict how it really is?
The movie that resembles the most what the military is called Generation X.
Generation X.
Have you seen that? It's a Marine Corps. That's the movie that when I watch that, it's like a series of 10 chapters, something like that. It's the one that gets the closest to the reality of things. So if you wanna see what the military, watch that. It's really, I think it's called Generation X. Is it Gen X? Something like that.
Gen X.
I'll find you the title of it.
But other than that, do you think that the movies and the movies depict how it is in real life?
The problem is the movies usually get stuck in what basic training is, where people yell at you. Once you graduate from, people are not gonna yell at you. You're gonna be treated like a. So they show like, well, you're always gonna be a private and everybody's gonna pick on you. That's not the way it works. Okay. Once you graduate, you're a professional. People trust the job you do. Imagine, I was an aircraft mechanic, man. So people have to be able to trust me because, look, you're flying in an aircraft that I work. Okay? So I became friends with the pilots. I deployed to Japan with them, and they trusted me. They said, "This guy, take this guy with you." I go with them. I used to make bets with them. I bet you I can fix your aircraft in a half an hour. A case of beer, and I didn't used to drink, so I gave it away
That's funny.
in Japan. Yeah.
What was your favorite military saying?
What's that?
Your favorite military saying, or something that stuck to you that your general said or your sergeant said that.
Man, be all you can be.
Be
That's
all you
the-
can be.
That's the slogan of the military when I joined. And I remember I say, be all you can be. Well, you learn what that is once you're in. Because there's many opportunities in the military that a lot of people can't see. When you get out of the military and you get a resume of the things that you have done, you're gonna go like, wow, I've done a lot of things in this many years. Be all you can be.
Yeah.
Reach out, man. I've learned as much as you can. I'm telling you, I tell that to everyone. You know, learn.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge
it.
is power.
That's it.
And out of everything, out of a lot of your solutions, it looks like you read a lot. You read.
I have read a lot. I've read a lot of books because, not because I like reading, but because I was in a position that I needed to know something specific, you know. And thanks to that, I was able to accomplish many other things. I fixed a lot of cars for people that a lot of people could not fix, and I go like, it's because if you have a car, that's an engine, but somebody built that engine. And I learned that in the military when the book. If you get the book of the people that make the engine and you read it, you're gonna know more than the mechanic that has never seen it.
Yeah.
Because you are able to understand some things that are specific to that motor that nobody else understands. So you need to read, you know? And that's why I fix many things. If you have a multimeter and you know how to use it, there's hardly anything that you can't fix. You can troubleshoot many things with a multi. If you don't learn how to use a multimeter, you probably can fix most of the problems in a house, for starters, and in cars.
You're a real
you know?
handyman. if you
Dude,
know.
it's really cool. It's knowledge. Everything is knowledge. The more you know, the more chances you have to be successful in anywhere you go.
Knowledge.
And going back to the experience in Panama, where you had that hunch of that what was it that you said?
The starter fuel
The-
selling, I didn't.
That you knew that, or it's because
No, actually, I knew that.
or
When I went there and they say, listen, we can start the power unit,
Yeah.
and I laughed. I wasn't doing. I said, just rotate and it don't start. Say, I know what the problem is.
okay.
So I climb on the aircraft, right? And I told him, I said, listen, there's a part here, right? A 6 o'clock position under there. It's a little thing, just pull it out, and it's gonna be like, it's got a little hole in there. And when that gets clogged, you have to replace it. Because it's supposed to mist fuel, not throw a little line of fuel. Because if it's a line, the spark plug, it's not gonna shoot, but it's the mist. And that's what it was. So when they went to, and they told the commander, they got the part, they fixed the aircraft. Say, how'd you know that? We haven't been able to start the aircraft in 2 weeks. This guy find him. And they needed to go and find me. The only thing they remember is that the patch that was, because in the military, by the patch, you know which unit. So he said, he was in the military intelligence, and he was a sergeant, and he was Hispanic, but he was white. So they sent him and it took him about a week to find me. And when they went to my tent, said, we're looking for the Hispanic guy, the sergeant. Oh yeah, he's inside. I say, hey guys, how you doing? Our commander wants to see you. Okay. I knew.
That's interesting.
Perfect. Any last words you would like to give our audience before we close?
Learn as much as you can. It never fails. And the man upstairs, man. When something good happens in your life, recognize that he's right with you.
Amen.
Amen. With that being said, hope you guys took notes. You guys learned a lot here with Edwin Jimenez. Thank you for this opportunity you guys give us to
Thank
be at
you
your
very
lovely
much,
home.
guys.
Subscribe, like, comment, and write down your notes.